So after you've gotten your own, when you're there, you can actually invite your father, your mother, your spouse, your husband, your children, your children's children, your children's brother, your children's cousin, your children, as long as. So another juicy thing about this visa is because when you actually get this visa, you have like an extra 15.15, an extra 50. Guys, can you see I'm scratching my eyes? Because e reach and e pass to scratch eyes because wetin my eyes see, my mouth no fit talk am finish. As in, na so I just dey scratch my eye, scratch my eye. Guys, have you heard about Australia skilled immigration? I don't even know how to classify it in English. Australia shortlist immigration. Australia shortage occupation list for skilled workers. Let me just arrange it because guys, looking at the benefits that actually came with this visa, I'm like, hey, I've been here waiting for UK and all those countries, and then I said Australia on. I was like, okay, I cannot contain this one alone. Let me go and share this with my family members. And that is why I'm here. So guys, if you're talking about benefits of this Australian shortlist occupation list visa migration, I don't know how to put it in English, but you people know what I'm trying to say. So I'll actually be differentiating between the 189 visa, 190 visa, 191 visa, and 491 visa. So 4 types of visas. Are you guys ready? So if you know you're new here, you're welcome. If you're one of my hosts and the real OGs of this channel, thank you so much for always believing in me, listening to my videos and everything, because you guys actually make it worthwhile making this video for you guys. As usual, I make videos at night when people are actually sleeping. So to actually encourage me more, make sure you click the subscribe button, the notification bell, so that anytime I post a new video, of course you'll be like one of the first to get notified. Don't want to be like the first, or is this still just your day here? Anyways, let's get right in it. So first of all, let's talk about the benefit of this visa. Guys, if you hear these benefits, oh god, if you hear these benefits, in fact, subscribe, invite all your family members, because this is just where I spill it. The juice that I'm spilling is what some agent actually take money for consultation. You don't understand? That's what I'm giving you guys for free. Anyways, let's dive right into it. So now, either the 190 visa, 190 visa, 191 visa, anything as long as it's actually skilled work visa. So what are actually the benefit of this visa? The first on our list that actually like gave me that enthusiasm is free medical care. Guys, what are you doing in this life if you don't have access to free medical care? What are you doing that you don't have access to medical care? I don't understand, because the medical care is actually not for you alone. It's actually for you, your family, younger brother, and in fact, I'm jumping too much. Okay, the next on our list is the PR, permanent residency. Guys, once you're getting this visa, just know that you're already a PR, permanent residency of Australia, and this one will actually give you an eligibility or criteria to actually apply for their citizenship. If you're actually eligible, or if you have the required eligibility, blah blah. Like having a PR right from leaving your country, isn't that great news? Like in some of this 191 this thing, or you have ability to live you have ability to actually live in Australia for minimum of 5 years. Some is 10 years before you actually apply for, like, guys, are you kidding me? Whereas other countries, when you actually apply for their work visa, every year you have to look for an employer to give you CSO, or you keep extending every year. But for Australia, direct PR, and after that you can actually apply for your citizenship. Isn't that good news? Isn't that great news? So another benefit of this visa is live, work and study indefinitely. As I told you, this visa will actually give you access to permanent residency. You can apply for your citizenship, and you have the right to live and work indefinitely. Do you know what that means? That means bye-bye to your home country. You're going to another new country. Unlike other countries that they'll put you on so many conditions to do this, like you can live, you can study, you can do work. And you know, work means money. Here you go, as you like. Isn't this good news, guys? Then the most juicy part of it is This benefit is not just for you alone. No, it's not just because you apply and then you have for this benefit alone. No, it's for you and your family members. So after you've gotten your own, when you're there, you can actually invite your father, your mother, your spouse, your husband, your children, your children's children, your children's brother, your children's cousin, your children. As long as you guys are family, you can invite whoever you want. Isn't that good news, guys? And another good thing is when you actually invite them, whether for visit, whether for stay, you can actually sponsor them. You can actually sponsor them for PR, for permanent residency. So not like after inviting your family over and then they have to also for their own right to work and live. Like you can actually sponsor them because you've actually been in the country, you're eligible for this. Isn't that good news, guys? Isn't that? So another benefit for this is you can travel anywhere you like. You can travel in and out of Australia as you like. You know, sometimes like when you're in a country, when you actually travel out, you have to apply for visa. This one you have access to 5 years or 10 years, depending on either 9-1 or this one they apply, but at least the minimum is 5 years. You can travel in and out of Australia indefinitely. See, maybe when it actually expires indefinitely, like you can come to Nigeria, isn't this good news, guys? Isn't it? Isn't this good news? I'm sure it's good news. So guys, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So before we actually talk about the difference between the 189, 190, 191 and 419, let's talk about the general requirement for any of these visa. The general requirement is number 1 on the list, you must be less than 45 years old. I'm sure most of you, of course, you're actually less than 45 years old. So you must be less than 45 years old. The second one is you must actually like prove your English proficiency, IELTS, TOEFL, or this thing. But they actually exempt some countries like USA, Canada, New Zealand, Republic of Iceland, you know, those like English countries. So they actually like exempt them. So less than 45 years old, proving your English proficiency, and then you have to have at least 65 points under the test calculator. Don't be scared. Don't be like, which one is test calculator? Saying I'm waiting, they tire you for all this migration. Don't be scared. It's those things that you have. They'll check your level of education, your experience, and wait, I know you're discouraged, but don't be discouraged because there are some visas that will actually give you like an extra point. Keep watching. Make sure you watch to the end. Don't worry, we're going to be making so many videos on that even if your point, we're going to be making so many videos, and that's why I told you stay subscribed to this YouTube channel, because I'll be giving you guys back to back up to date information. What are you waiting for? Have you subscribed? No, have you subscribed now? What are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button. So generally, that is actually the requirement. So now let's actually talk about the 189 visa, 190 visa, 191 visa, and 491 visa. But okay, let me arrange it, because in as much as you were trying to explain it number by number, one actually comes before the other. So the visa is actually like 189 visa, 190 visa, 491 visa before the 191 visa, because you know in a bit. So guys, if you've actually watched up to here, encourage him by clicking that subscribe button like right now. Anyways, let's get started. So the 189 visa is actually known as skilled independent visa. Skilled independent visa, even from the name, skilled work, of course. Independent, what does the independent means? Like they're not dependent on anybody, no sponsor, no territory, no state, it's no family member nomination, no state nomination, no anything. Like independent, you are just on your own. You can do as you like, whatever you like and as you wish, but don't do illegal things. So I'm just trying to use it to explain. So this visa is actually also called the federal visa, of course, because you know federal is almost like government visa, because you're just on your own. There's no sponsor, there's like independent personal visa. There's nobody that is dictating for you. This is how you sleep, this is how you breathe, this is how, and and the benefit of this visa also cover for right to live, right to study, right to work anywhere in Australia, any state you choose. If you say, is this one I want to work, nobody is going to argue with you. Anywhere, you are not restricted to do anything you like in Australia. Isn't this good, guys? Isn't this good? So what is actually like the requirement of this visa? The requirement for the 189 visa is, first of all, you have to be the general requirement I said less than You have to be less than 45 years old, demonstrate your proficiency in English. Number 2 is your job or your occupation must be chosen from the MLT SSL, medium long time strategy skilled list. So it is from this list you have to choose your occupation list. And what is this MLT SSL? What does it contain? This one contains the basic occupations, like the basic ones that the country can actually not do without. Like this, more it has more of professional courses like medical doctor, nurse, engineers, ICTs, pharmacists, social workers. They have social worker. There's even cook. There's cook there. There's nanny. Like all these basic things that the countries, you know, that we have some primary professions or we have some secondary professions. So the primary professions are those ones that a country or a nation can actually not do without. They cannot do it without doctors. So all those basic first class. So if you know you're into professional course, you're a pharmacist, you are an accountant, ICT. So I'm making a separate video on the list of these MLT SSL. So that's just the requirement here. And then the last requirement is you should have at least 65 points, which is just the general requirement for this application. But the thing is, you know that this type of work, this type of basic professions, of course they will be competitive because we have a lot of doctors, lot of everything. So of course we want to actually choose like the best of the best. So 65 is the minimum, does not mean you should actually stay at the minimum. Like I used to tell you, even when they tell you something is minimum, always hope for this thing. So at least if you have like an 80, 85, 90 to give you like bulky more edge over somebody that has 65. So guys, that is just the requirement. So the only thing that I actually feel like it will be my difficult for you, like English proficiency, but that one really should not be hard for you. And then even your test score is your basic degree, what you have. But then if you cannot have all of this, I have another good news for you. And then this is why we're actually going to 190 visa. This 190 visa is actually called the skilled dependent visa or skilled nominated visa. This one, from the English, dependent, you're actually depending on somebody. You actually need a sponsor, a family member nomination, territory nomination, state nomination, just more like they're actually picking you, giving you this job, trying to, you understand? So this one is actually like state or territory nominated. But the downside to this is you can live and work and study, but you can't do it anywhere in Australia. It has to be the specific place that, okay, the government says you should work in this state. That's where you have to be for at least a minimum of 2 to 3 years. You know that sometimes maybe after giving you the job, you feel like, okay, they're not watching it. They'll keep checking up on you. And if you actually leave that state, maybe you don't like that particular state, maybe you don't like the weather, you don't like this, and then you move to another state, if they catch you, they are gonna bundle you back to your home country. So that's just one limitation to this 190 type of visa. Like any state that they give you, this is where you should be, just like NYSC in Nigeria. Any state that they give you, that's where you have to be for the next at least 2 to 3 years. So after 2 to 3 years, when they actually check your record, how you have been, eligibility, you can actually now choose the state you actually want to migrate to. But that is just like the limitation to this visa. But really, if you actually want to leave your country, I'm not sure state should really be an issue for you, right? Should it be? But then, even if that is actually a downside, there's actually a good news to this, is because when you actually go for this visa, you have an extra 5 points. That you know, extra 5 points that will actually add to your point test calculator. So even if you have maybe 60, so you have like extra 5, that is 65. And then the next one is what? You're not going to be picking your occupation from the MLT SSL, just like the 189. You have to pick your own occupation list from the eligible, the combined list, eligible, something. So before you actually apply for this type of visa, you have to like go through the list, look at what you want to apply for and anything. So that 189 is just like basic primary profession, and the next one is almost like secondary profession somehow. So the next one on our list is 491, and the way I'm smiling is because this one has so many benefits. So this 491 visa, the 491 visa, and this one is actually regional regulated. When you say the regional, what does it mean? That means moving from one region to another. So for this visa, they are going to move it from a metropolitan city to a regional city. And the purpose of why they actually introduced this type of visa is actually to actually develop their regional side in the country. In the country we have the metropolitan, just like the urban and rural place. So imagine them moving in from urban to a rural place, just to make people to, this is just to encourage people to actually migrate to the rural part of the country or to the regional part of the country. And then another downside of this is for the next 5 years, 2 to 3 5 years, you have to stay in this regional side till when you can move. You don't have rights to live and work anywhere. You can of course live, work and study, but you cannot move from that region till the next 2, 3 or 5 years. You have to stay there before you can actually even consider moving from that region to a metropolitan city. So, and again, why I'm actually spying, why I actually feel like I actually prefer this visa is because it's actually called like a first priority visa. As I told you, the reason for them creating this visa is to make people move from the more developed areas in the city to the less developed city. So this one, they actually prioritize it more than any of those visas, because they actually want the regional and rural place of their country to actually get developed. So someone, they actually call this visa priority visa. So before you actually be able to leave that rural place or the regional side to another city, you have to have lived there for 3 years. And even when you want to apply, you have to make sure that your job or your annual salary is actually more than 55,000 Australian dollars. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So regardless of the work that you are doing there, you're a cleaner, you're a what, before you will be able to move from the regional parts of Australia to the metropolitan part, like when you're actually applying for a change of state, your annual salary should be more than 55,000 Australian, 55,000 Australian dollars. Sorry, Australian dollars. Yes, it should actually be more than that, regardless of whichever work that you're doing. So the process of you actually leaving your regional place, the rural area in Australia to a metropolitan city, the type of visa you actually apply for is transition visa. And this transition visa is what is actually called the 190 visa. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So it is actually the 491 visa that changes to 190 visa, also known as the transition visa. So this type of visa, before you be able to apply for a job or to apply for a work, you have to check the particular state you're actually applying to, the state or the territory, to see the jobs that are actually in shortage occupation list, because not all urban areas have request for some jobs. Some need teachers, some need more different type of this thing. So you have to actually check the particular state or the particular territory you're actually applying to, checking their occupation list, what is in shortage or anything, before you can actually apply to it. Not like you just sit down and just apply to anything. You have to see what is in shortage in that particular region itself. So another juicy thing about this visa is because when you actually get this visa, you have like an extra 15 points. 15, an extra 50 points. So even if your point in the test calculator is actually 50, they will give you like an extra 15 points. So that's 65. Or maybe if you have 65 before, and they add this 15, that's like 80 points, guys. 80 points. Like you have an extra 15 points. So that's why they actually call it priority visa, because they actually want to encourage more people to move from the urban areas to the rural areas. For people like us that want to jackpot, do you actually think we'll care about that? As long as the place is livable, as long as the place is conducive, no people they live there. No people they live there now. So guys, what do you guys think? Do you actually think it's actually something you really want to consider? Do you actually think is actually like a good move from the Australian government? Do you actually think it's something you really want to try and everything? So guys, if you really want to get all the juicy information, step-by-step process, how to apply and everything, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because I'll keep bringing you good and juicy information from different countries, from different everything, for work, visa, study, everything. That's good. So guys, if you actually enjoyed this video, as usual and as always, you know what to do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So guys, make sure you subscribe, because I'll keep uploading subsequent videos on this, how to apply, the process, the procedure, the everything and everything. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you, man. I've said it so many times. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button.